What's up YouTube, I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games, and today we are reviewing my Prank Kids deck because our last previous video of the Prank Kids match we received 10 likes, and also a lot of you have been asking for the deck profile, so we're going to be doing it. But before we start, friendly reminder as always to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. But with that being said, we're going to start with idea cards before we get into the main deck, because these are some that I'm planning of testing with just to see how well it will work with the Prank Kids deck before actually placing it in the deck, because the deck profile we're going to show you is the one from the match, which is quite good and been playtesting with that the most, and especially in real life. But we're going to show you these for new ideas. Maybe some of you will actually enjoy these specific ideas to add into the deck. If not, doesn't matter. We're getting to the deck profile really soon. So we have Parallel XD. Kind of want to revert back into the old plays, even though we don't really have any one card combos anymore. But we can still play it, especially with Al Miraz. If we only have one kid in hand and we have the XD in hand, we can at least do some pro plays, make a Bizdrello or make even a Babushka to really help the games. Another card that's actually we wanted to test some more was Fusion Deployment, but this is going to focus more on fusioning. So you can make Battle Butler a lot easier with this card, but it's definitely something to actually test out if we're taking that route. And definitely, I really want to try Fusion Recovery since we are playing a lot of polymerizations. We could definitely add the polymerization and a prank kit as well, and I think that's a really good plus. Now, at the moment, we are not playing Thunder Dragon Fusion. Now, the reason why we're not playing Thunder Dragon Fusion is because of a consistency issue, especially that we don't have any one-card combos in the deck, and it mostly revolves around 3 cards now. So you don't really want the odds of having this, and Thunder Dragon Fusion is really good for more grind games or follow-up turn, not the starting turn. So that's why we're not playing with Thunder Dragon Fusion at the moment. Also, the same thing could be applied with Called by the Grave, because Called by the Grave, since we're not doing one card combos, interruptions like Ash, okay, isn't really that impactful since we're mostly always triggering 3 effects. So at least 2 of them were actually resolved. And Call by the Grave will only be beneficial if we get like Droll or Dimension Shifter, which is going to be very rare. And especially with the odds of actually having Call by the Grave and our opponent having those specific cards, this might not bring so much value. And we have to focus more of having our Prank Kids cards in our hand even more. But finally, the card that I really want to test pretty soon is actually Link Brain, because if we have multiple Prank Kids in hand, we can normal summon one, play this card, special summon the other, link summon, start all the chain links, and because your opponent cannot actually activate any effects, they cannot interrupt any other link. So it's actually really cool. It's like this link summon cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effect when the monster is link summoned. Now, since all of them are triggering during the summoning, you don't have to worry about any interruption. So this is something I really want to actually start testing right off the bat, because I think it would be very beneficial. And let me see, you can only activate only one link into the brain. Okay, so definitely I would probably put it at 1. I think it was good. We could play multiple because of Roxy, but at the moment, we're still testing. But we're going to get into the deck profile right now. So we're going to go over here. If you see anything that you like and want to see a deck profile of that I have on this list, definitely comment it down below and we could do a deck profile of that also. So now going into the actual main deck. So starting with the hand traps, we do have 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Drolls, and 3 Effect Violet. Now, for value, I thought these were the best ones because Droll is very impactful for today's format, same as Ash and Effect Veiler. And also, if we're drawing these cards because of our Prank Kids pranks, we could at least use these. And this is why Infirms are side and not main, is because of that factor. Then we do have 3 King of the Swamps, which is very good because they could also consider as one of your Prank Kids for your Battle Butler. So I think there's multiple ways of abusing this, but also besides Battle Butler, you could also treat it as a relinquish. So if you want to get Millenniumized Restrict out right out of the way, you could definitely get this card out and it becomes a free negate. So, and also acts like a Call by the Grave too with Instant Fusion. So you can play Instant Fusion, Spell Summon him, and then start doing your combo right after. So we have 3 Dropsies, 3 Fancies, 3 Lampsies, and 3 Roxies because we had to max out on our prank kits just so the odds of having at least 2 in hand is a lot higher. Well, before we were playing Roxy at 1. Times has changed. Now we do have the 1 instant fusion and we have 1 for 1, which is actually quite good because we could get rid of our hand traps, just still summon a fancy. So there's a lot of plays that we could do with 1 for 1. We have 3 polymerization, which kind of seem excessive, but really not. And if I were to switch out the brain for anything, it would probably be 1 poly. We do have 2 Power of Desires because we really need that draw power engine. And since we're playing so many copies of each card, we can actually afford to banish those 10 cards without being so like crippled by it. Okay, next we do have 2 Pandemoniums. And we have 3 places as well with 1 terraforming just for a high chance of the odds. But also the reason why we're playing so many of these prank kits cards is because we're actually really abusing prank kits pranks by discarding a prank kit card to just build summon token. And we're doing quite a bit of plays with prank kits pranks, so it became a necessity to play so many different prank kits spell trap to use as a discard fodder. And then we finally have plans since prank kits is a bit slow. And since we're actually minusing quite a bit to get our plays out and filling the graveyard right away, it is actually ideal to actually start playing plans again so you can actually shuffle everything back. But there's many times that I actually use it to do the link summoning on my opponent's turn. So I'll make a Rip Roaring Rooster or something like that. It's very plausible, and mostly I use it just for the shuffling back. I think it's very necessary as well. Alright, let's go into the extra deck. So, like I said before, we have 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict, really good. We are playing 2 Battle Butlers, definitely necessary. We have 2 Rocket Rides as well, and 2 Weather Washer because you're doing a lot of OTKs with this card, okay? So then we have the 1 XYZ, which is totally awesome. And this we actually abuse quite a bit in this deck. We have Access Code for OTKs or just board wipes as well. We have 2 Bow Wow Barks, definitely necessary, and then we have 2 Does as well, which is definitely necessary. Now, I don't see us needing to play 3 of them. I think 2 is quite well, and especially that you're still being semi-resourceful with this specific build, so you don't really necessarily need to have 3 in the deck. Then we have the 1 Rip Roaring Rooster, and then we have the Anima, which is very good. Oh, no, don't want to add that to my favorite. That was weird. Sorry about that. But yeah, now we're going to go into the side. Now the side, so far from playtesting a lot, this has been like the ideal one that's been beneficial for me. Maybe it won't be ideal for like your local events or any other side events you're planning to do. And for me, I'm like, this is quite good just because it's very going second and we're relying more on drawing that 6 card as well. So we do have 3 Nibs, we have 2 Raws, we have 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, we have 3 Lightning Storms, we have 3 Regekis, and then we have 3 Imperms. So these can definitely be changed for something else if you feel like there's better stuff, or if you want to put like what is it, the Neko King, the kitty there for against Terror Elements as well, just to end your opponent's turn. You can definitely do that. But at the moment, I'm very happy with the side. It's been working out for me very well. But that's it for a deck profile. Now, if you guys enjoyed today's deck profile, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can always follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.